Hey everyone, so today's video is for, the mid-game players here that are climbing up, dungeons, and I just wanted to show an all-epic team for stage 16. So this is the team. So I know all of these epics are Ascended 6, right? Which is probably very unrealistic to you all, but what I tried to do is I tried to limit their gear. It's always hard for a player like me who's been playing the game for so long to kind of tone things down to where people like it's more what's the word I'm looking for here, relative to what you're going through. So I tried to just have like level 12 leveled up gear here and there, except for some of the pieces that maybe you could get from Ash if you're using like Rosalie friend teams and stuff like that. So anyway, this is the team. So we got Nathalia here. So she's got about 5,700 attack and 259 crit damage, which I don't think is very hard for people to do, especially if she's booked, right? I think hopefully you guys have some better gear on her. She does need to be Ascended 2, okay? She's also very important because on stage 16, there isn't this issue with Ash yet where he puts bombs on everyone. He will just put a bomb on the person with the highest attack. And Nathalia has this passive that gives herself immunity. So she's never going to have to worry about that, which is really nice. So this is the gear. She's got some okay substats on this stuff, but she does need guard set because none of the heroes that we're using really give her any buffs. There are some static buffs, but for some reason the game code doesn't really recognize them as a buff, so you do need to run guard set. This might be the hardest thing that you guys are going to come across, but honestly, you just need to find maybe one good piece of guard and then just like a supplemental piece. Like this is a really good piece, and then you would just have to find a piece that has like 1 or 2 rolls in attack, and that's it. This is not a good piece, and it's only level 12. None of these heroes have relics on. She's on a crit rate revival ring, so that's her. Next is Hakrin. So Hakrin is a fusible character. He's a little undershadowed now because Atara came out, but he's actually really, really good for mid-game players. He transfers his defense over to people. So whenever he's Ascended 2, I believe he needs to be just Ascension 2. Yes, he transfers 20% of his defense. So you really want to stack defense up on him. I've got him in, so no defense sets, which is good. It's all broken sets, no relics, and this is all level 12 gear. Now, some of it is fabled, which you guys won't have access to, but this is not like an ideal piece on him. I guess the thing that is helping him here is he does have 22 defense, so maybe that's like a 2 or 3 rolls for some people that have really good, have like an okay piece of epic or legendary gear. And then all of this stuff is just defense. So I'm hoping you guys can get even better stats there. But on top of that, he puts up this max health up, and this never goes away. It doesn't have a limit to it, which is really awesome. So his stats here are 2,100 health and then 4,500 defense. I don't think you need this, especially with the other 2 heroes that we're going to show. They keep your team really healthy. So along with Hakrin and the other 2 heroes, your Nathalia is going to be healthy most of the time. You're not going to have any real issues. Also, the speeds, we'll talk about that whenever I go into the actual team. The speeds don't need to be as high as what you're seeing here. Jonathan is another epic that we're using. So he does have 50 speed here, but you should be leveling up speed boots. I do have some health percentage and focus on him, so those are some okay rolls, I think, but this is a pretty bad piece in general. And then he's got health and health on the bottom. You really just want to stack health because Jonathan has the shield whenever he's hit with AoE abilities, which Ash does. It'll give your team a really big shield based on his health, so you really want to stack his health. And you want some focus because he brings attack down and defense down, but he has some self healing in his kit where he removes negative effects and then heals himself up. So these are all broken sets as well, and they're all level 12, and he's got no relics. So his stats are 26,000, and then like I said, his speed and his focus is okay here. Now, Jonathan is also fully booked. I don't know if Hakron is. He might be as well. Yeah, Hakron is close, but I was really hoping that my subpar gear gives you an idea of where to be. Like I said, Hakron doesn't need to be this high. You know, the important thing here is the team composition, and then you're going to throw some gear on them to make them as sustainable as possible and try and get as much damage as possible out of Nathalia, and I'll talk about the speed requirements in a second here. So last is Hazel. So Hazel is also booked, but again, she doesn't even have boots on, and she doesn't have a ring. so she's got resistance, so no health, right? Resistance plays no part in Ash. She does have some health and speed here, just to kind of help get over the speed requirements. So I don't think these pieces are really that great, and then she also doesn't have any relics. So her stats are 23,000 health and then 1,900 defense with the speed, and then she has high resistance, but like I said, not important. So Hazel brings really big heals, and she also has negative effect removal, but she's in there for her heals. Okay, so those are all the heroes. Yes, these are all booked, but the only one that you're probably going to need to book is Nathalia, because you'll see during the run the health of my team is actually very healthy, right? So going in and looking at the speeds here, right? You definitely want Jonathan before Nathalia, because Jonathan puts up attack down and defense down, which allows your Nathalia to clear the waves. It also helps with some of the damage on the little imps that Ash brings up. But the whole reason we're running this team is because Jonathan with Hakron and Hazel, even if you don't kill the imps because they, revive themselves, you have enough sustain within your team where Nathalia just does enough damage. So it's a very slow run, right? But it's very safe, and it's just epics. You don't need any fancy legendaries or anything like that. Hakron is a fusible champion, and then Hazel and Jonathan, hopefully you pull 1 or 2 copies that you don't really need to be ascended. The only one that needs to be, these 2 need to be ascended, at least for the most part, okay? So without further ado, I just wanted to talk about that. Oh, and the spells. Yeah, defense down is okay. You could probably even bring the revive spell if you wanted to, but it's not going to be needed because you're not going to die. And then you can bring the heal spell just to keep your team topped off. But anyway, that's it, and let's get into the run. So there you go. Yeah, just all epics. Yes, they're booked, but really the only important thing there is I think achieving the damage thresholds with Nathalia, and just getting as much sustain as you can on your team. You know, if you're looking for speed requirements, I think they all need to be above like 160. So yeah, try and tailor it to that. Again, guys, it's really hard for me to try and scale stuff down for like a mid-game kind of account. This is the best I was trying to do. I hope it helps. I hope you don't get too mad about things being out of touch, or I don't know. Anyway, just trying to help, and that's all I got for you. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.